Hey, what's this? Some new kind of dance? Nope, it's America's newest sport, and it's called skateboarding. One of these young men is the international skateboard champion. What is your name, please?
My name is John Friese.
My name is John Friese.
My name is John Friese.
Only one of these young men is the real John Friese. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Orson Bean, and Kitty Carlisle. On To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Good evening, pal.
Good evening, Bud.
Always a joy to greet and be greeted by you, believe me. We're brought to you tonight by Anacin, the headache tablet to relieve pain, so relax tension, calm nerves. Anacin. Panel in front of you, you'll find an envelope with some stories in it. You haven't seen them before. Open it up now and follow along with this one, if you will. I, John Friese, am an expert in America's newest sport, skateboarding. In its simplest form, a skateboard consists of 4 roller skate wheels fastened to a narrow piece of wood from 18 to 30 inches long. The rider stands on the board and guides it by shifting his weight. Recently, I entered a competition with some 500 other skateboarders. It was divided into 3 standard events: the flatland slalom, which is performed on a level surface, the downhill slalom, which is performed on a slope, and trick skateboarding, in which the contestant has 60 seconds to demonstrate his versatility. I amassed the largest total of points in the 3 events and became the men's international skateboard champion. Signed, John Friese. Panel, these 3 young men all claim to be John Friese, and we'll start the questioning, if we may, with Peggy Cass. Peggy?
Thank you, Bud. Master Friese number 2. Where did skateboarding start?
About 20 years ago, it started with a crate on the top of an old pair of skates.
Oh, but number 3, when did they get these jazzy skateboards? When did that start?
You mean the competitive skateboard?
Yes.
About 3 years ago.
I see, but where, number 1?
California.
Thank you. Number 2, when you have a slalom, do you go through gates?
Yes.
Number 3, what's the distance between the gates?
There is usually about 5 feet.
Thank you. Number 1, when you ski downhill, do they count time?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 3, is this the sort of the same principle as surfboarding?
Is what, slalom?
Yeah, no, skateboarding.
Skateboarding is very similar.
Thank you. Number 2, could you stand on your head on a...
Orson Bean.
Kumquat. Number 1, I was over at the remnants of Pennsylvania Railroad Station here in New York, and there was a large concrete area, and there was a bevy of young lovelies. These nubile nymphettes were performing feats where they went way down close. I mean, they had their feet on the thing, and then their elbows practically touched the ground. Do you know what that is?
That would probably be a head dip.
A head dip?
Yes.
Good name for it. Number 3, who recorded sidewalk surfing? You know?
I don't know.
By chance? Number 2, ever hear of the Bowdoin Street Hell Drivers?
Pardon me?
The Bowdoin Street Hell Drivers.
No.
All right, it was a small group of me and another. With an orange crate. Number 1, how are you? How long have you been doing this kind of stuff?
Oh, I've been doing it since I was about 8 years old.
Tell me more about yourself, whatever you feel like.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 2, who's the girl champion of the skateboard?
I think, I don't know the girl now, but she's from Berkeley.
Number 2, do you know the girl champion? Number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Pat McGee was, but she is no longer. I don't know the one now.
She's an old bag by now.
She's old.
He didn't say that, you did.
Number 1, who were the judges?
There are 3 judges.
Who were they?
I have no idea. They're probably they were from companies.
Were they older men or were they young people?
They're, well, It depends. It was about in the 20-year-old bracket.
Thank you. Number 2.
Old men. Old men.
Number 2, do you make your own skateboard or do you buy them?
Oh, no, we're sponsored by Hobie Skateboards.
And you buy them?
No, they give them to us.
Oh, they give them to you. Number 3, where did you get your training for this?
Around the block, California.
Tom Poston.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, who actually makes up the rules for the contest? Is there such a thing as a national board that makes up these rules?
There's a National Skateboard Association.
Thank you. Number 1, do you agree with that?
Yes.
Where is its headquarters?
In California.
Under whose auspices was this particular event held where you became international champion?
Pardon me?
Who sponsored it?
Who sponsored
Who organized this?
This association, the National Skateboard Association.
Where was it held?
In Anaheim, California.
Oh, thank you. Number 3, how much practice have you actually had on these skateboards?
For about 5 years now.
Yes, and you're also from California?
Right.
Number 2, where was how steep was the hill? How steep is the hill for the slalom, downhill slalom?
10 degrees.
Number 3, do you agree with that?
Well, it varies. Sometimes 12 degrees. It's in that neighborhood.
That's all the time we have, so fasten on your wheels and let's go with marking our ballots, if you will, please. Mark them at once, without consultation, and, of course, without changing once you have marked. Vote, if you will, now, for number 1, number 2, or number 3. The team of challengers will receive $250 for each incorrect vote. All ballots marked? Very well. Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number 2. It's kind of a sloppy number there, but it's hard between 1, 2, and 3. Those numbers confuse me. But I thought that because balance is required, and he seems a little closer to the ground than the other 2.
Peggy Cash.
I voted for number 2, because when they asked him about his skateboards, he mentioned old Hobie skateboards that gave him the skateboard, and I felt that was right.
Orson Bean.
Well, those 3 numbers are difficult, but I have a little trick. I hold 3 fingers, Tom. See, and then when I've decided, I hold on to the... So I held on to number 2. Sorry, friends. That's the best I could come up with.
All right, Kitty, so far there are 3 for number 2. You going the same way?
I voted for number 2. I voted for number 2 because they all agreed it took place in California. Number 2 looks like he has a suntan. Number 3 sounded as though he might be British. Number 1 said Anaheim, and I think it's Anaheim.
Well, there we have it, unanimous. Sometimes this bodes well for you, panel. Other times, well, watch out. There are all unanimously for number 2. Let's find out now whether it's right or wrong as we learn which one of these young men, in truth, is John Friese. Will the real John Friese please stand up?
Oh, let's see.
Thank you, John, very much. Well, congratulations to you. Number 1, rather. What is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Joe Broadhurst, and I'm a high school sophomore at Pleasantville, New York.
Thank you. And number 3, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Alan Whitman, and I'm a sophomore at Columbia University.
Well, we checked the score and find that they were 100% right. There were no incorrect ones. Therefore, in any event, there still is $150 coming your way. And, of course, on your way out, you'll receive a gift package of all the fine products from the makers of Anderson. Thank you very much for sharing this evening with us, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Good night, and God bless you. And now let's have our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jennie Vasquez.
My name is Jennie Vasquez. My name is Jennie Vasquez.
Follow along again with your copies of this one, panel, if you will. I, Jennie Vasquez, am a general assignment reporter for one of the largest daily newspapers in South America. Recently, I became the first foreign winner of the Eleanor Roosevelt Newspaper Exchange Fellowship. As part of my award, I was given the opportunity to switch jobs with a girl reporter in this country. For the past 7 weeks, an American girl has been working for my paper, La Prensa, in Lima, Peru, while I have been working for the Wichita Eagle in the state of Kansas. Signed, Jennie Vasquez. three young ladies all claim to be Jennie Vasquez. And we'll start this cross-examination with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Miss Vasquez, number 2. You know, we have a Lima in this country. Do you know where it is?
No, I don't.
Do you happen to know? Number 1, do you happen to know where we are?
No.
Number 3, do you know?
I don't know.
Well, actually, it's in Ohio, and it's called Lima, but it's really named after the Peruvian city. Number 1, do you type?
Yes, I do.
What method of typing do you use?
Touch.
The touch system?
Yes.
Do you type number 2?
Yes, I do.
You type system also? Number 3, do you type?
Yes, I type.
How can you put a carbon paper in a typewriter and make sure that it gets on the second sheet instead of the back of the first one? What do you do when you're putting the paper in like this? How do you make sure that it doesn't get in the wrong way when you put the paper in?
Oh, I never thought about it.
You just do it. Oh,
Peggy Cass.
Thank you. Number 1, do you like working in Wichita?
Yes, very much.
Thank you. Number 3, are the assignments very much different in Wichita than they are in Lima?
I'm not covering assignments as a reporter for the Wichita Eagle.
You're not?
I'm getting experience.
Oh, what do you do? Just sit around the office? I mean, don't...
I write stories. Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, number 2, there was a certain saint born in Lima. Could you tell me the name of her?
I beg your pardon?
A saint. Was born from Lima, Peru. Do you know? A saint?
We all have plenty of saints.
Oh, no, but this is from Lima. No?
One who was born
In Lima?
Yes.
Oh, you mean Luis Escobar?
Thank you. Number 1, who do you think the saint was from Lima?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Gee, maybe they told me wrong in school.
Orson B.
Newspaper people don't know about things like that, right? Number 1, what is a 2-column slug?
A 2-column slug? It is a headline that runs only for 2 pieces of the newspaper.
All right. Number 2, are you familiar with Etoin Shurdlu? No? Number 3, Etoin Shurdlu?
What's that?
Etoin Shurdlu. It's a hard language. There's number 2, Etoin Shurdlu.
It means that you erased.
All right. Number 3, in Wichita, what are the stories? Are a lot of murders go on and things in Kansas, or is it mostly the flower show and stuff like that? I'm not familiar with Wichita too much. Is there a lot of activity, number 3? Good things to write about there?
It's a small town compared to Lima or to New York, I would say.
Compared to Lima,
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, where did you learn English?
Well, I learned English in South America mostly.
Number 2, who runs the Wichita Eagle?
Mr. Colburn.
Number 3, do you know where the newspaper O Globo is published?
No.
Number 1, do you know O Globo? Number 2, who is the president of Chile?
You got me.
Number 1, do you know?
I'm afraid I just drew a blank.
Number 3, how long do you expect to stay here?
In New York and the States.
No, in Wichita.
The whole stay will be about 3 months.
3 months. And what is the name of your replacement, number 1?
That's all the time we have, I'm sorry to say. We have to stop right there. I thought a 2-column slug was like a gaboon viper, but I guess I'm wrong. However, mark your ballots, if you will, please. Mark them at once, without change, without consultation. Vote now, please, for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Ballots all marked. Very well. Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 2. I thought she was darling. They all were, but I thought that number 2 was hard put to answer questions about her own job, which was really funny, but I thought it was number 2.
Peggy.
Well, I had a cousin who went to a school called St. Rose of Lima, but maybe it was Lima, Ohio. I voted for 3.
Orson B.
Oh, I vote...
Crazy.
Oh, I picked up the wrong thing. I thought I was going crazy. I voted for number 1 because she's a fine, healthy girl, and I think she has the look of the reporter in her, and welcome to America, dear, and she knew about the 2-column slug. Oh, and number 2 knew about Etoin Shurdlu, but...
And Kitty.
I voted for number 3. They were all absolutely marvelous, but I thought that number 3 was champing a little bit at the bit when she said that she wasn't allowed to go out as a reporter, but she had to sit there and write stories.
Very well, there we have it. This time, completely different from the first round. You're widely split as you can get. One for number one, one for number two, two for number three. Let's find out now which one of these young ladies, in truth, is Jennie Vasquez. Will the real Jennie Vasquez please stand up? Thank you. Number one, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Tony Schneider. I'm a United Nations guide.
And number two, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Olga Morales. I'm a social worker for St. Joseph Hall.
Thank you. And in checking the score, we find you did well. There were 2 incorrect votes, and that means, of course, at $250 each, a total of $500 you get to take along to divide. You also will receive a gift package of all the fine products of the makers of Addison on your way out, and we thank you very much for gracing our show. Good night, and God bless you. Okay, panel, take a minute while we look at this. Let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Stanley Matthews. My name is Stanley Matthews.
My name is Stanley Matthews.
Follow along again, panel, with your copies of this. I, Stanley Matthews, have played professional soccer for more than 30 years. Last month, at the age of 50, I played my last professional game. I was given a testimonial dinner by an organization of eminent men known as the Grand Order of Water Rats. At that dinner, I was given a gift from one of the members, Prince Philip. It was a plaque, and the inscription on it referred to me as a man who had become a legend in his own lifetime. My greatest honor, however, came when I was knighted by Queen Elizabeth in Buckingham Palace. I am the first professional soccer player in history to have been so honored. Signed, Sir Stanley Matthews. Very well, these three gentlemen panel all claim to be Sir Stanley Matthews, as you heard. And we'll start with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Sir Stanley, number two. What does water have to do with soccer?
Almost nothing.
So why are you called water rats?
I'm an honorary member of the Society of Water Rats. It has nothing to do with soccer.
Oh, number three, what's the Society of Water Rats?
Well, if you take the word rat and reverse it, it's star. And it's a group of entertainers that does a lot for charity.
Oh, thank you. Number one, what is Prince Philip's family name?
Queen Elizabeth.
What is his family name? Before he married, for example, his own family, what is his family name?
A blank just now.
Number two, when you play soccer, are you allowed to use anything but your head and your legs?
Anything but your hands and your arm below the elbow.
Thank you. Number three, why does everybody get so excited about soccer? And they throw chairs and seats and they hit each other and they have riots?
Because it's really exciting.
There you are. Tom Poston.
Thank you, Bud. Number one, is soccer dangerous to the players, of course?
No, I don't think so.
Well, do they get beat? In other words, when we have football here, what we call football here, we have a lot of protective equipment on to actually save life and limb. And you don't have that kind of contact in soccer?
No, we don't have that in England at all.
Thank you. Number three, which country traditionally has the championship soccer team?
Hungary.
Oh, number two, do you agree with that?
No.
Okay. Who do you think it is?
There is no traditional winner. Hungary is a good team. The last World Championship was won by Brazil.
Well, I was thinking of the Brazilian soccer players, but more the South American.
That's all we have time for. Now, no, we have more. Peggy.
Number two, is soccer the same as what the Italians call football?
Yes.
It is. Thank you. Number three, there was a match last Saturday for the world's champion soccer. Now, what were the two teams?
St. Rose.
What were the two teams?
I'm afraid I couldn't tell.
Do you know number 2?
It could not have been for the World Championship.
Oh, well, it was for some kind of... Well, maybe it wasn't. All right, number 1, what is the hot shot soccer team in Portugal? What's their name?
Benfica.
Thank you very much. Number 2, is soccer the same as rugger?
No, ma'am.
No, it isn't. Well, I've learned something. Number 3, who won the Olympics in soccer?
Liverpool.
Thank you. Number 3, whom did you play for?
For Stoke City.
Stokes.
Stoke City.
Stokes-on-Trent.
Stoke City.
Thank you. Number 2, do you wear a helmet?
No, ma'am.
But number 1, do you wear a little striped shirt?
Oh, Orson B.
Number 1, who do you play for?
Stoke City.
Stoke City. And number 2, too?
Stoke City.
Number 1 again. Is it true that the men are apt to have 3 fingers of the finest before they go out on the field, especially on chilly days? A little
wouldn't say so.
slug of stout or something?
I wouldn't say so.
No? Would that impair your the game?
They wouldn't do no good.
Number 3, Stoke City. Tell me about this fine place. What do you do at night over there after the game? Like, suppose you won, right?
Practice.
Practice all the time? Number 3, do you ever get hit with a ball? How's that feel? Number 2, I mean. You ever get hit in the head with one of those things?
I've done it deliberately.
Why deliberately, number 2?
If the ball's coming at you from above,
oh, but I'm like...
you use your head.
I mean like on the ear or something.
That's all the time we have. It is time for you now to mark your ballots once again. Panel, that time is here. So please mark them at once, without change and without consultation as before. Voting now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All ballots marked swiftly and cleanly. All right, Tom, for whom this time?
I voted for number 1. I noticed that one of his shoulders was depressed a little bit, like he'd been hit with the flat of a sword, so I thought maybe he was knighted.
Peggy Cass.
I voted for number 1 because it seemed to me that match with the Portuguese, that the team was Benfica. And it was, I think it was Naples and Italian and Lisbon. So I voted for 1 because he...
Orson B.
I voted for number 3 because one of his little shirt collars goes up. And Herbert Jacobi, who used to own the Blue Angel, came from Europe, which is not England, but it's close. And his collar was...
Kitty.
I voted for number 1. I don't want to insult the Portuguese team because I know how angry these soccer players get, but I thought if he knew that, it was pretty obscure.
Well, there we have it. Mixed up slightly, almost unanimous. There were 3 for number 1, 1 for number 3. All right, let's find out how that sits. As we learn now, which one of these gentlemen, in truth, is Stanley Matthews? Will the real Sir Stanley Matthews please stand up? And number 2, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Rex Nichols. I'm a general passenger representative for the Cunard Steamship Company.
And number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Duncan McCaskill, and I'm employed by the Central Railroad Company of New Jersey as an electric welder.
Well, the score checks out that there was 1 incorrect vote, and that's worth a healthy $250, gentlemen. And, of course, when you weigh out, you'll receive a gift package of all the fine products from the makers of Anison. We thank you very warmly and sincerely for joining us tonight and hope you enjoyed it, too. Goodbye, and God bless you. Only one piece of unfinished business I can think of, and that's O Globo. We never did explain where that newspaper is.
It comes from, it's a newspaper in Rio.
And it's one word, O Globo?
2.
2 words, O Globo.
Yeah, and Schrödlow.
Eton Schrödlow.
What is that?
Yes,
is when a clumsy typesetter goes like this and hits all the keys in a row and it comes out Eton Schrödlow. So right in the middle of a story about Prince Philip it says, and the prince turned and Eton Schrödlow. Eton Schrödlow.
Well, thank you for that little bit of pithy information. Good night to you, panel.
Good night.
Good night to all of you. We're counting, of course, on seeing you again. Good night to you for Anison. And join us next week at the same time. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon on the daytime show. And in the meantime, don't you forget to tell the truth. Bye.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
First films of Major White's Walk in Space, expected tomorrow morning at 7:30, 6:30 Central Time, here on CBS. Join the fun as Steve Allen's panel attempts to solve Fritz Lieber's dark secret on I've Got a Secret, next on CBS.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you by Sleepy's, the non-narcotic sleeping tablet. Sleepy's for a good night's sleep. This is Johnny Olson speaking. For To Tell the Truth, the program was pre-recorded.